Hi, friends. Happy Tuesday. I am coming with my morning post in a live this morning because I went back to the post that I had asked where you guys would like to see me talk about this month. And some of these I think would be better in a live form. So here I am. I'm going to give it a minute to see if anybody hops on. Hi, Nancy. Good morning. I know that it is super early on the West Coast, so I totally think that people will catch the replay, and I'm good with that. How are you doing, Nancy? Good morning, Kayla. You are up early. So not going to keep you guys too long. I want to make sure I can see comments, so I can, so that's good. I just wanted to come on here. Like I said, I went back to the post where I asked you guys what you'd like to see me talk about this month, and routines was one of them. And so I like got to typing out what I was going to say about routines, and then I was like, you know what? I feel like this would be better in a live, so here I am. Cleaning the office space today. Love that. Heading to work. I hope you have a great day at work, Kayla. So today I wanted to just jump on and talk about routines a little bit. And I'm hopeful that what I have to say will help some people, but also the big thing about like finding a routine within your business is that it's going to look different for everybody. So there is like no one way or like one system that I feel like is just like a very general, like this will work for you, right? And that's a good thing and that's a bad thing, right? Because I can't give you an answer and have it just be like foolproof. But the good thing about it is that this business is super flexible. So you can create your own routine. You can create your own systems and habits that find you success in this business. But you might have to do a little like trial and error and discover what works and what doesn't work. And routines is a big part of that. I feel like that does happen with routines and habits, is that you get into doing it one way and you realize that doesn't work anymore, or you get into a new season and discover that what you were doing 6 months ago isn't going to work for you anymore. Maybe you had a baby, maybe you moved, maybe your kids are doing sports now, maybe you're working part-time, like things change. And so our business has to be able to adapt with us, and Scentsy is set up to be able to adapt. You just have to set aside the time to figure out what that looks like. Okay. So when it comes to finding a routine, good morning, Tori. When it comes to finding a routine, I'm going to go over kind of just what that looks like in my opinion. And again, I'm not the end all be all. I don't have all the answers, but when I think about if somebody were to come to me and said, I really need to find some structure in my business, I really need to come up with a routine that I dedicate time to my business each day or each week or whatever. How do I do that? This is what I would say to them. Okay. So, again, it's going to look different for everybody, but if you are looking at your calendar and saying, I need to be able to plug in Scentsy, here's how I would work out those steps. Okay. The first step, it's a 4-step plan here. Okay. Hi, Cynthia. The first step is going to be to decide. Okay. So we all have to make a decision in our business. We all have to make a decision in every single season. Sometimes we have to make decisions on the daily that we are going to choose to work our business today. We are going to choose to dedicate time to our business today, this week, this month. We're really going to put in the effort to make sure that we are being intentional about what we are working on, that we are going to dive into our business. We're going to do the hard things. We're going to do the fun things. We're going to have conversations. We're going to get plugged in. Like, we have to decide. You have to decide that that's what you're going to do. Okay. Plain and simple. You can't just willy-nilly it. You can't just be like, maybe I will work my business at some point this week. Okay. Because when you have an attitude like that, you're likely going to fail. You're likely going to not get anything done because you've given yourself the opportunity to have wiggle room to not do anything. Okay. So when you are deciding when you're deciding to do nothing, nothing is what you'll do, right? And so when you are not committing to I am for sure going to work my Scentsy business. And you are making steps towards that and actually writing out an action plan. Good morning, Ceci. Good morning, Michelle. Making an action plan to make those things a reality, you're not going to do it. Okay. So you have to decide, you have to commit to, this is what I'm going to do. Okay. And so the next part is prioritize. So truth be told, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that I came on live, so that my words in text form don't get misconstrued as me being mad or me like talking to anybody in specific, because I'm not mad. This is truly coming from my heart, and I have nobody in mind. But I do recognize that a lot of people have a lot of things going on, and they'll say, my Scentsy business just isn't working out. I don't have PRV. I'm not meeting my PRV goals. Nobody wants to buy all these things. But the truth of the matter is they're not prioritizing the time to work their Scentsy business, right? So when you say, I'm going to work my Scentsy business, and you make that decision, but you don't prioritize actually doing it, right? Plugging it into your schedule, nothing's going to happen. Like truly nothing is going to happen. You have to prioritize your Scentsy business. You have to say, this matters to me enough to put it on my schedule on a day-to-day basis or weekly basis or whatever, right? Again, the routine is going to come from your own schedule and what you can decide to do, right? That comes with those first two things that I talked about. You decide, and then you have to prioritize. So you have to say, my Scentsy business means enough to me that I am going to make it of the higher priority, and I'm going to make time for it. Now, on the flip side of that, if Scentsy is not that big of a deal to you, if you're like, I'm just here for fun, like, why are you yelling at me? I'm not yelling at you. That is totally okay. If you're just here for fun, if you're just here to get that discount, an extra $20, if you make more, cool, that's fine. Like, totally okay. I'm not talking to you then. Like, go on about your business. We're good. I love that you're here. Okay. But if you're sitting here going, I need Scentsy to pay this bill. I need Scentsy to get me a higher paycheck. I need Scentsy for the community, and I'm not finding that, you're not prioritizing. Okay, you're not prioritizing your business so that you will reap the rewards. This business is not an overnight success. This business is not you have a really great month and that's going to continue and you can just sit back. Okay, we're not in 2020 anymore. It's not hyper growth. We actually have to dig our feet in. Okay, we have to dig our feet in, and we have to decide that we are going to commit to the work that it takes so that we can reap the rewards, right? And that's a day-to-day decision, and that's a commitment that we have to make to ourselves, and we have to hold ourselves accountable. Nobody is going to be looking at your schedule and seeing when you clock into your Scentsy business and saying you didn't do enough today, or you know what, actually that's not going to work out. You need to do this. Nobody's doing that for you. Okay, I'm not going to do that for you. Your sponsor shouldn't be doing that for you. Like, nobody is going to tell you this is how to do it. Okay, you have to prioritize it in your life. You have to hold yourself accountable to that figuring out of your schedule. Okay, so real quick, I'm just going to let you all know. I know that, like, for me, my business is not my business. I might be in the minority where I'm a stay-at-home mom, okay? My kids go to school. All three of my kids are now in school. So I have 8 hours a day, okay, where my kids are gone. And reality is I could sit in my office for that 8 hours and do work. And I know that we have a lot of stay-at-home moms with littles, that's not possible, right? Their littles need them. We have people on here who work part-time jobs. We have people on here who work full-time jobs. And that's exactly why figuring out your routine and committing to prioritizing it in your own schedule is so important, because like I said in the beginning, I can't figure out that schedule for you. And my Scentsy business and how I work it has ebbed and flowed through the years, because this is the first year that all three of my kids have been in school full-time. Okay, so in the past, I have had to work my Scentsy business around my littles needing me. Okay. And that's the seasons of your life, and you're going to go through that, and you have to let your business be flexible. But for me, my Scentsy business is priority. So there are days where my husband's off, or my mom wants to do something, or I have plans with friends, and I say, okay, so I know I'm going to do this on Thursday. So I'm going to make sure that I get my stuff done Wednesday night, or I'm going to wake up early and get my stuff done in the morning, or I'm going to plan for time in the evening on Thursday to do those things. Like, I make sure that Scentsy works around the life that I'm living, but I still make it priority, right? I don't just say, oh, okay, this week I'm super busy with a bunch of other things outside my house, so we'll see what happens, right? I can't go a week without getting paid in Scentsy. Okay. I can't say, who cares this week? I'm just gonna let it ride. I'm gonna do what I want to do and not make Scentsy a priority, and we'll see what my paycheck looks like. Like, no, actually my paycheck pays my mortgage. So I need to make sure that I'm working my business as often as possible and making it priority. Like, that's just what it is. Okay. I know that that's not everybody's story, which is why I will keep coming back to, you have to figure this out for your life. You have to figure out what you want Scentsy to be and start acting like that's how it already is. Okay, so if you need Scentsy to pay for SFR, you need to act like that bill is banging on your door tomorrow. Okay, so what are you doing today that is going to earn you the commissions to pay for SFR? If that bill was due tomorrow, what are you doing today? Okay. And I'm not saying put a bunch of pressure on yourself to like sell 2,000 PRV today, but we need to start acting like it is of the utmost importance. If you're going to say, I need it to pay this bill, I need it to pay my mortgage, I need it to pay my rent, I need to pay for my kids' dance class or cheerleading or soccer, or I need to be able to pay my gas. You need to start acting like that bill is due tomorrow and you have a business to work, right? I always tell people when they ask, when they say, I want to do what you do, I want to earn the trips, I want to earn a paycheck that pays for your mortgage, or you make more than your husband, like, how do you do that? I work my business like it's a full-time job. Truth. And I know that I don't have another full-time job, so that might be a simpler process, but I've got other things going on, trust and believe, okay? I've got a very busy schedule, but I do work my business like it's a full-time job. I spend time, dedicated time doing stuff. Income producing activities. I'm sponsoring, I'm booking parties, I'm following up with people, right? I'm leading my team. You have to do those things. If you want the results, you have to do the work. And the work is not always pretty. It's not always fun. It's not always in your face. It's a lot of behind the scenes, not so fun stuff sometimes. Okay. But the reward is where the fun is. Okay. And the journey can be fun and it can be enlightening, but day to day, it might not feel that way, but you still have to commit to it. And knowing that that's going to come, that's the thing, is we have to know that the fun stuff is not all the time. Right? And that it takes actual work. And so the planning of what you need to do helps you not be surprised on Tuesday when you're like, shoot, I need to follow up. I hate following up. This isn't fun. Right? And it's not a surprise to you. If you sit down on Sunday and say, okay, Tuesday, I'm gonna follow up with people. And you start thinking about it. Monday, you're doing your work, right? And you look at your calendar and you say, okay, tomorrow I've got to follow up with people. Tuesday, when you wake up, you're not shocked that you have to follow up with people. You've prepared yourself. You've prepared your business to sit down for that 30 minutes and follow up with people, right? And you know you've got to knock it out because that follow-up equals commission, right? That commission equals a bill paid or SFR paid for or whatever, right? You have to prepare yourself, prepare your business for the things that actually matter, right? And in case anybody doesn't know, the things that matter in your business are high PRV, sponsoring, and coaching. Boom, that's it. Your income producing activities, and I can't stress this enough, if you work a full-time job, if you are outside of the home, if your life does not allow you to sit down for hours on end, which is not everybody, which is not a lot of people, okay? That's not the case for a lot of people. If your life does not allow for that, then you need to be, your things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis need to fall into one of those three categories. Is it getting you high PRV? Or is it sponsoring? Or is it coaching, right? Leading the team that you already have, getting new people on your team, or getting high PRV for the month. Those are the three things. All of your activities should fall under those three things. And I say that if you have a busy life outside of Scentsy, those are the 3 things you need to be focusing on. But truly, no matter what, like me, I need my most important things to be centered around those 3 things, period. Now, I have a lot of time, right? I don't spend all my time around, trust me, I don't do that. But like if I'm sitting around, I'm like, okay, I've done the things I needed to do today. Like today is my team day. So once I do all the things I need to do for my team today, if I have time to make some samples, that's not really a big high priority on those 3 things. If I have time to make some samples and I've finished what I've done today, then I can do that, right? You fit in that fluff, you fit in that fun stuff after you've done those other income producing activities. Okay, so that leads me to my next thing is the planning, right? So planning out how you're going to, I guess it's more the how. Planning out how you are going to prioritize your business in your life, okay? So for me, I do that on Sundays. Sundays are my church day, Sundays are my family day, but towards the end of the day, I find some time to come in my office or I go get in bed or I sit on the couch and I get my planner and I plan out what my week is going to look like. Not by the minute, not by the hour. I have flexibility, but I want to make sure that I'm looking at the week ahead and I recognize, okay, I've got this going on Wednesday. Okay, I've got this going on Tuesday. We've got life group this week. Okay, so those are the things that I know that I'm doing in my regular life. These are the things I need to do in my Scentsy life, like Monday's a launch, right? Tuesday training, Monday leadership call, Wednesday SSD call. Where am I going to be in all those things? Okay, I need to follow up on this day, right? Tuesday's my team day. What am I doing on Tuesday? Dream team chat. Okay, what are we talking about, right? All of those things I plug into my calendar on a weekly basis. And I physically see with my own eyes what is going on. And then how do I prioritize the tasks that need to get done in my business, right? If on Tuesday morning, I'm going out to breakfast with my friend and usually Tuesday mornings are my team days, then I'm going to make sure that I'm plugging in what I need to do for my team somewhere in that day, or I'm doing it Monday night, right? Planning out. I said it yesterday. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Plain and simple. You can't willy-nilly your way through your week and think that you're going to have high PRV or that you're going to sponsor people or that your team is going to be just fine. You have to plan for it. Doesn't have to be planned for the minute, but you do have to plan. And then it's not enough to just plan it, right? It's not enough to just write it down on your calendar and say, oh, okay, it's planned. Okay, I'll get to it when I do, Then you have to commit every day to what you've planned for, right? So when you sit down and say, Monday, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get on the power hour. When I'm on the power hour, I'm going to be working on my happy mail. And then after I do that, I'm going to be following up with my customers. I'm going to do the launch, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to schedule posts. When Monday morning comes around, now, granted, there's wiggle room, right? You're your own boss. Okay, kids are sick, whatever, stuff comes up. But Monday, should nothing else be going on, don't look at your calendar and be like, oh yeah, I had all this stuff planned, but actually, I'm just going to Netflix and chill today. Like, y'all, we have to hold ourselves accountable to the things that we say we're going to do in our business because ain't nobody coming for you. Nobody's going to come for you. Nobody's going to beat you over the head with your excuses. And frankly, even on team days, when I check in with people and they're like, I was just so busy this week, I didn't get around. Okay. All right. I can't do anything about that, right? If your excuses mean more to you than your goals in your business, then you're in the wrong business. Right? Plain and simple. If Scentsy is not driving you, if you are not committed to the process, if you cannot commit to the things that you say you need to do to get where you want to go, then you're going to be really disappointed in the end. And I'm just being honest with you. And I don't want that for you because everybody here is fully capable of achieving all of their goals. The only thing lacking is the accountability or the commitment. Right? Because we all can find the time. I know that everybody is busy. I know everybody's got a lot of things going on. Trust me, I know. I get it. I may not be in the same situation, but I know. But I also know that there are superstar directors who work 2 full-time jobs, still maintain their title, and boss out because they hold their business on high priority, right? And they figure out a routine that works for them. And that's what a routine is, right? A routine in your business is simply just coming up with a system that you do on a day-to-day or a weekly basis that commits you to your business to get you closer to the goals that you have, right? And routines can make us stagnant. Routines can make us complacent. And so that's why we have to be flexible with our routines, but we do need to have systems in place, right? So tomorrow, I need to be working on Happy Mail, and I'm not sitting on my Happy Mail until like Thursday or Friday, but that's not my normal routine, but I know that I need to catch up on some things. So I have to be flexible, but I know that my system is when I get a PWS, I send Happy Mail. So I know that needs to be done. It's not my highest priority, but I've put it on my schedule for this week. Right? And so being flexible in your routine, but staying strong on your systems is what's important. Okay? So you have to decide that you're going to do this. You have to decide that your goals mean more to you than any excuse that comes along. Right? Any hiccup in the plan, you're going to overcome. Okay? You have to decide that you're committing to it. And then you have to prioritize, right? And prioritizing it over watching Netflix for an hour when the kids go to sleep, prioritizing it over, whatever. I don't know what else, but we can all prioritize our business. It's just going to look different, and it takes sacrifice. And I don't know if you guys have put that together, but it takes sacrifice, right? There are things that we have to sacrifice in order to prioritize our business. Because when we prioritize things, we're saying this is of a higher priority than this. So if this doesn't happen, it's fine, right? I'd like for this to happen, but I'm placing this at a higher priority. So for instance, I do love to watch some trash TV. Like low-key, your girl is guilty of the Housewives thing, guilty of the Vanderpump stuff going on. Like I love me a good drama TV show, okay? And so I have every streaming service, and there are plenty of days where I walk past my TV in my living room and go, man, what I wouldn't do to sit down and catch up on Vanderpump or Real Housewives. But I've got work to do, okay? Is it dumb that trash TV is on my list of things that I love to do? Maybe. Is it something that I wanted to do today? Maybe. But I am prioritizing my Scentsy business. So should I not get around to catching up on Vanderpump Rules today, I have sacrificed that in the name of my goals in Scentsy. Okay? So there should be things on your list that you say, I'm willing to sacrifice this to make my Scentsy business a priority. And that's going to look different for everybody. There are things that I don't think you should sacrifice. I don't think you should necessarily sacrifice family time. I don't think you should sacrifice things with your kids. I don't think you should be staying at home when your kids are having a soccer game. Like those are things, non-negotiables. I'm going to be there. This is why I do my Scentsy business, so I can have freedom, right? But there have been times where I've said, no, I can't do breakfast today. I've got a lot of work to do. There have been times where my husband's like, let's go to lunch. And I'm like, sorry, I've got stuff to do, right? Knowing that we have prioritized a date 2 days from now and that this one can be sacrificed, right? And so I make sure to hold myself accountable in those things. So when you prioritize those things in your business over other things, right? You're coming up with a plan, right? You're already starting that plan of how you are going to incorporate your Scentsy business in a day-to-day or weekly basis. Maybe you say Monday through Wednesdays when I work my job. Okay. So it's very hard for me to work my business on those days. It's very busy. My kids have soccer games on Saturday, so I can't do that. Okay, cool. That's why I'm saying a day-to-day or weekly basis. I don't look at my business on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes when I'm looking back at what I've accomplished, I look at it from what did I do this week? What did I get done this week, right? So if your day-to-day is not consistent or you've got things going on, then you need to look at it as a week scope, on a weekly scope, and not focus on the day-to-day. So if you work Monday through Wednesday, then you say, okay, Sunday I'm going to be scheduling out posts for those 3 days. Thursdays when I'll do some follow-up because I've got some free time there. And Friday I'll do this and whatever, right? It's planning out that. So to me, and then committing to it, right? So to me, deciding, prioritize, planning, and committing. That's how you come up with a routine. That's how you focus in on what needs to happen inside of your business for your business to change your life, right? So that's what I could not fit in a post this morning. So I hope that that is helpful for people who have questions about routines. But please know that, like, again, this is going to look different for everybody, and there is nothing wrong with Scentsy not being in the top 10 priority for you. What I just want you to hear is that if your expectation is that Scentsy is going to earn you an incentive trip, or that you're going to make a $5,000 paycheck, or you're going to promote, or all of these things, like that probably won't happen if it is not of a high priority for you, or if you're not committing to doing the things it takes. So nothing wrong with Scentsy just being fun, or you just willy-nillying it, okay? I just want to make sure your expectations are in check. But if you do say Scentsy needs to be the vessel in which pays off this debt, or buys this house, or makes this kind of paycheck, pays this bill, gets me to SFR, like those things are going to require you to make Scentsy a high priority, okay? So I love you all very much. Happy Tuesday. I hope to see all of you on the Dream Team chat tonight. Me and Alex will be together talking about restarting your business, restarting, refresh, whatever. So it's going to be, it's actually going to kind of like connect with this, which I think is super cool. So all month long, that's what we're talking about. And we can't wait to see you. But I hope this was helpful for y'all, and I'll see y'all tonight. Bye, guys.